In the spirit of fall, I made a pumpkin spice dirty chai. Absolutely amazing, but extremely hot. And I don't know if you can see, but right in this monitor, iPhone 17 Pro. If you clicked on this video, you already know what I'm here for, and I want to introduce to you my new phone, my first ever iPhone, the iPhone 17 Pro, in the orange color. As you guys know, I do prefer the color black. My car is black, my shirt's black, my camera's black, tripods are black. I think black looked good on everything, but I branched out and picked up the orange iPhone Pro. Now, is it going to stay orange for long? Nope, I have a wrap on the way. It'll be here in the next couple of days, but I did want to try something out, and I wanted to be able to have the opportunity to have a really cool color phone, just like this iPhone 17 Pro. Now, this video, starting off, is just going to be an introduction to this phone, what I think about it from switching from a Samsung S24 Ultra, downsizing to a Pro size phone, not a Pro Max size phone, as well as switching over to the iPhone ecosystem rather than the Samsung ecosystem that I previously had. This is not going to be the full technicality side of it. This is going to be diving into the cameras. We will do that in separate videos that deserve its own time. But this is just going to be, if you want to switch, if you want to upgrade, this is the video for you. So stick around. Alright, I'm going to make 3 points here. The first point is how it feels in the hand and usability, because that's the most important part. I want to really dive into how this feels, texting, typing, taking photos, all of the stuff you do in everyday life compared to other phones. And then I will dive into the ecosystem, which is a huge part of Apple. A huge part of Apple is blue text messages and being able to share multiple things across multiple devices and how easy it is. And the third thing that I want to talk about is switching. Was it an easy switch? Some of the pros, some of the cons of switching, and everyday life, as in the past week of having this phone, was it worth it switching over to an iPhone? Now, obviously, the first thing is I do have the Apple Wallet on this phone, which is a huge plus for me because one, it's easy and it MagSafes right onto the back of the phone, but also makes it a lot easier to hold in your hand. I will say the back of this phone is that nice glass right there, and it's a little bit slippery. I don't know if you can like hear it, but compared to the aluminum part, it's very slippery. So in my hand, it's also pretty thin. In my hand, it just feels like it might slip out when my hands are resting on it, but I've never dropped this phone, thankfully. But it does feel like it might slip out. Other than that though, holding this phone feels really nice, even without the case. When I'm holding a phone, I'm holding it like this. And my pointer finger rests perfectly right under the little like notch of the cameras, and then my finger rests perfectly down here on the rounded part. And it holds it amazingly. Feels really comfortable in the hands. But when you do put on the Apple Wallet, it even makes it more comfortable because I have more grip with this, and it makes it even bigger, and then my finger can rest right in between the wallet and the top, or the bottom rather, of the camera notch, which is really nice. Feels really good. Now, holding this, texting with it, it feels amazing when I'm using 2 fingers and all of that stuff. The one thing that I will say, I really miss squared edges. On the S24 Ultra, it had squared off edges, and it was so sharp, it was so clean, it was so aesthetic. And the only reason I didn't get the S25 Ultra was because they did the rounded edges, and realistically the upgrades were so minimal that I didn't care to get it. I was really hoping that it would be a nice phone, that I would get it and upgrade to it. However, it just wasn't for me, and it wasn't good enough for me to upgrade into, so hence why I got the iPhone 17. When the 17 did release, my main criteria was it would be new, it would be interesting, and it would be something that's actually worth upgrading and being able to hold on for a little bit. And this was the perfect phone. It was new, it looked new. Yes, it looks like a Google Pixel. Whatever. Okay, phone companies copy each other, we already know that. But I think Apple did it really well. Apple's whole motto basically is doing it clean and doing it minimally. And I think with this iPhone 17 Pro that they nailed it. Everything with this phone is done deliberately and with a purpose, and there are a few quirks here and there, but I think this phone is really, really good. If you are looking to upgrade, this is the time to do it. Now, moving on to my second point is the ecosystem. As you guys know, I have the MacBook Air, I have an iPad mini A17 Pro, as well as the AirPods. And I love the Apple ecosystem. I will say that. There is nothing like it. As much as I love Samsung and still do fully love Samsung, nothing is like the Apple ecosystem. Having, the AirDrop and being able to the compatibility between devices of just swiping and it goes to my next screen is mint. In my line of work, photography, cinematography, editing videos, making YouTube videos for you guys, this is a huge part of my life. And being such a simple thing, I can just AirDrop a video from my laptop to my phone, post it on Instagram, and call it a day. It is amazing. As well as the speed of these devices is amazing. Having the Lightroom, Premiere Pro, and Photoshop open, each one of these devices works flawlessly and is extremely smooth, and the screens on them display beautiful, beautiful colors. Not to knock the S24 Ultra, which ran Lightroom absolutely perfectly, but I will say that the new 17 Pro with the A17 Bionic chip is very, very fast and does the job flawlessly as well. The ecosystem, obviously, you get those new blue messages, which I have not had my entire life, and trust me, every single one of my friends is excited that I got an iPhone. I will say that I do miss some parts of the Samsung ecosystem, whereas that is the interface of the actual phone. Being able to learn the home screen settings where everything is actually at in this phone has taken me some time. I've had it for about a week and a half, week maybe, and I'm still learning a lot about this phone. Like, some of the weird things are, how do you turn on mobile hotspot? I figured it out, but for some reason it wasn't in the drop-down menu when you swipe down, and it took me a long time to actually figure it out and how to change my password. And then also being able to customize apps and figure out how I want Waze to be default. It's just weird little things that you only really find out if you use your phone all the time. And when you do use it, you will figure those things out, and then you'll be like, oh, I need to fix that. It's weird. I don't like it. But they're minor, and I'll get over them once I get more used to this phone. One other thing that I will say is that the home screen of the iPhone is very, very different than the S24 Ultra and the Samsung ecosystem. However, I am starting to like it more. So if we were to open it up, this is kind of what my lock screen looks like. We have my battery, my Spotify up here, and then just basically my main apps that I need every day. Simple, it's clean, it's easy. One thing I do love about the iPhone's home screen is that you can customize the color of your widgets and your apps. I think that's so cool. You can tint them, you can make them black and white, you can do really whatever you want with them. And you could not do that on the S24 Ultra natively. Yes, there were other apps that I did it with, but natively, I think it's amazing that you can do it with just the in-app iOS 26, which I love iOS 26. If you haven't updated it, update it. I love it. One of the other things that I do want to talk about is really small but really big to me for some reason, is the lock screen. On the S24 Ultra, the clock numbers would not go behind someone's head or, whatever, to create that depth of field. Now, me being a photographer, I love depth of field. I love everything that just looks quirky. And having the iPhone, you can do that. And my lock screen, which is my beautiful fiance, you can see that the numbers 9:48, it's military time, but you can see that it is behind her head, which I think is the coolest thing. I've always wanted it to come into the Samsung updates, and it never did, and it disappointed me. I tried workarounds for it, and none of them worked, and I'm really, really excited that I can do that now. Even with all of my different lock screens, I have one of my car, me and my cousin and brother, Sarah again, and then me and Sarah again. And I love that you can just, intertwine your, lock screens and do it as quickly as you want and just swap through, which I think is cool. Just little things like that is why I like the iPhone. Now, the third reason, I do want to change it up a little bit. I think the third reason is going to be kind of more hardware oriented. I did talk a lot about my opinions on this phone and switching to it, but I will press on that a little bit. But the cameras on this phone, yes, I love the S24 Ultra's cameras, but these things are crispy. 48 megapixels all around, and the ultra wide, wide, and telephoto lenses are gorgeous. I cannot wait to start filming YouTube videos with this camera and letting you guys decide on what you like. So make sure you guys subscribe, because the next videos that I'm going to release, some will be filmed on my main setup, the A7IV, and then some of them will be filmed on these cameras right here. I'm going to try to decide which camera I want it to be to create the most realistic look compared to my A7IV. But I want you guys to try to decide which one's on the iPhone, which one's on the Sony. So I hope you guys subscribe, because we are really, really close to 10,000 subscribers, and I'm really excited for that, because I do have a little bit of an announcement when we do hit 10,000 subscribers. But that is kind of besides the point. Back to the point of the hardware in this phone. This thing is speedy fast. I got the 512 gigabyte version of it, so I have plenty of storage. I want to say 8 gigabytes of RAM, might be 16, please correct me if I'm wrong, but the A17 Bionic chip is extremely fast. When I am flying, I'm using ForeFlight, I need to zoom into an airport really fast, grab the frequencies, grab the ATIS, whatever it may be. It is so fast that I can rely on this every single time. When I need to quickly edit a photo because I messed up, which I do all the time, and I want to get it right to my client, I can airdrop it to them, which is amazing now, as well as Lightroom opens up very, very quickly and applies my presets, everything like that, very fast. I have noticed no issues with the speed of this phone, and it's currently 9:51. I never plugged in my phone once. I did use Apple CarPlay in my Subaru WRX, which make sure you guys check out those videos next, and it is still at 100% if my camera would focus. It is still at 100%. It charged using Apple CarPlay, which the Apple CarPlay is amazing. It goes all the way down the screen of the Subaru, which is, I don't know if you have seen in WRX, but the screen is like that big, and it goes all the way down the screen, and it is such a cool feeling having a full screen Apple CarPlay or Waze or Spotify, whatever it may be. I do love that about Apple, is that the Apple CarPlay integrates better into Subaru than the Samsung Android Auto does. In fact, I even complained about that in my review of the WRX, is that I wished Android Auto went full screen on it, but it didn't, and now it does. And that's going to wrap it up on the very quick, brief overview of the iPhone 17 Pro. We are going to dive a lot deeper into the technical specs of it, especially the cameras of this thing, in the next few videos. So make sure you guys subscribe so you get those notifications of when I do post it. And let me know if you guys have bought this phone or if you're thinking about buying it, some of the things that are holding you back from buying it and what you really like about it. I cannot wait to hear from you guys in the comments. I do read every single one of those, and I'm so glad to hear, the feedback from you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, peace, God bless y'all, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you made it this far, make this pumpkin spice chai and let me know what you think of it. But I'll see you around.